have in front of you is a handout that looks kind of like this, just updates that I kind of went through my advising notebook to identify things that I think of as a nursing advisor, since that's what I do. And I'll be referring to this green sheet, which is the Associate Degree Nursing Program Plan of Study, basically. So the first thing on that list is the NAA 100 is the nurse aid course. And first thing I want to point out, they do not have to complete that NAA course. However, they have to have some nursing assistant or Medicaid nurse aid course. A lot of students take that in the community, for example. So that must be completed within 1 year of starting the nursing program. So not admission, but starting the program. If they're working as a certified nursing assistant or CNA, or are a state registered nursing assistant, which is an SRNA, that is a state registration, that also suffices for that requirement. And you'll run into all kinds of things with that. And if you ever have questions, certainly let us know in there, see if we can clarify that for you. The second thing is MAT 110 will no longer be accepted beginning the spring 2015 admissions. So they must have MAT 111 or 150 completed. So just want to make sure everybody knows that. So students that are coming in, new students that are revising that need math, I would recommend the 150 or 111. The other important thing about that is it transfers on to the BSN program. So the 110 does not.
So if, as far as like those who are entering for fall, the 110 would still be accepted for them.
Yes.
But anybody past that would have to have, right?
And we do it advanced standing, which I'll get to at the bottom of the sheet. Students for spring, so that would affect them for spring of 15, usually LPN students. The third one on there, even though English 101 and 102, we took on a new curriculum, we started in the fall of 2012. So things changed as far as how the gen ed fell out. So English 101 and 102 are not really prereqs, they are within the curriculum, but we highly recommend that the students do complete them up front. First and second semester in college is probably a good place for those. In addition, we identified as nursing faculty that our students are really weak in using APA style formatting and research. So we got with the English department and asked for a specific section to be identified within the English 102 course for these nursing students to learn APA. So that is listed on there, section 82871 is for spring of 14. So I just want to let you know that. Nothing new here, the biology and psychology courses must be completed within 6 years. Anything older can be updated if they've had Bio 137 and 139, but they're out of date. By repeating 139, that will bring them up to date for the 6-year requirement. Same thing for the Psych 110 and 223. Number 6 on here, I recommend to my advisees that they shoot for a GPA of 3.0. Now we do admit as low as 2.0, but that puts them very low on the scale. You know, we have a very competitive program. Of course, a 3.0 student is going to be highly more likely to be successful than that 2.0 student. Other things I've learned just in nursing conferences, et cetera, is that how they do in science is also an indicator of how successful or success or not success in the nursing program. So just stuff we learn. We'll go as low as the 2.0 GPA with a strong NLN PACS score for admission. So the only two things that they need for admission is the GPA and the NLN PACS. Okay, and I'll talk about the PACS score here too. If you're advising and students have time to fill in because they're waiting to be admitted or are going to apply for the following fall, since we admit once a year only, then I do recommend that they work on the associate science degree. Most of our students like to do that because as new RNs and they get a job in the hospital, they're signing a form that says they will start their BSN within 6 months. So I just get them ready, give them something to think about. A lot of them do take courses after they finish the AAS degree in nursing here. So just kind of keeps them rolling and getting things done in a timely manner. Let's see. Couple courses, the RN, the BSN, and EK courses that the RN to BSN students need. There are some differences if they are pursuing the associate in science and then going on for their BSN at these other colleges.
Can they take statistics 210 and be able to fulfill EKU requirement as well? Instead of taking two different statistics courses?
Yes, we don't teach Stat 200 anymore.
Okay.
That's the old class from UK. So just this semester, we started teaching Stat 210
210 for the EKU student too?
for everyone.
For everyone?
For everyone.
Okay.
200 transfers to UK is 210 for the old people, and 210 satisfies the 200.
Okay.
For both
Thank you for
EKU
telling me.
and UK? Okay.
Good. Number 9, the nursing curriculum is very challenging. I mean, the first nursing course is 9 credit hours, as you can see on that green sheet. And they have lecture 5 hours a week. They have 12 hours of clinical lab a week. 10 hours if they're at the hospital weekly. It's very, very challenging. And our biggest challenge with students is that they have jobs and they work full time and try to go to nursing school, and it's very difficult. So we have that attrition rate as a result. But we, something to talk about to your students about, when your plans are working, that comes up in the conversation, of course. I do recommend that they get all their gen ed courses out of the way. And most of them have time to do that, it seems like. And the only course I see them taking in the program, and it seems to fall in the summer, is the Bio 225, the medical microbiology. The NLM PACS exam, I did give you handouts. And I can send these electronically. Actually, this one here, the frequently asked questions, we are posting to the website, so you'll be able to find that under the associate degree nursing website, as well as this registerblast.com instruction sheet that will be on the website too. Everything is now registration for the testing is done online for the students, and I think the sheet's very self-explanatory, has great answers for the students. Yes, there's a review book at the Leestown bookstore for this exam. I tell the students to really put their emphasis on that. I mean, that's the only other requirement they have for admission. And our admissions are rank ordered based on GPA and the NLM PACS.
Maybe it's just a sign, but is there a last date by which they should have taken this?
Their deadline is February 15th.
So they could take it on February 14th if that's a Monday?
They do, because it's computerized, they get the results right
And
away.
they still,
Yes, yes, as long as those results have to be in the application package for
So,
admission.
could you retake it if you weren't satisfied with your school?
6 months later,
Oh.
and that's on that sheet as well, so they have to wait 6 months to retake that exam. So I tell them, don't wait, in case you do want to retake it, but it's just general information, it's non-nursing questions, it's science, math, and English, basically. And I gave you an example of the score sheet. And that's actually my son's, but it gives you the raw score on the flip side, gives you the, gives you the, how they get a score of, for example, this was 148. You flip it over, 148 gives you a 99 percentile. We're looking for 65% is kind of our benchmark. So I tell my students, that's your goal, 65%. Really looking at the verbal score, because that gives you your indication of success again, how well they're going to do. So it breaks out to verbal, math, and science are the 3 areas.
So when you say the 65th percent, do you mean 65 in each of the correct scores, or do you mean the 65th percentile?
This example, it gives you, the exam was 148, so if you flip it over, that gives you, he was on the 99th percentile.
So you're looking for the 65th
meeting, we're getting just the 65th percentile back for the overall score. So that I do tell the students that, so they have that information.
And the book is only available at Lacetown?
Yes, I don't know why.
Is there one at the Cooper Library on reserve? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. We could check.
Yeah, do you know who we would ask if they could sell that at our, we seem to have a number of pre-nursing students here.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea for future to have at least one on reserve at the library if we don't have any.
And we could sell it not
Sell
in
it
our
too.
bookstore here as well. I mean, we have a nursing program, so it seems like it.
I never asked that question, but I'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My students all going here.
Let's see what else here. To start the program, so they have GPA and NLM PAC score for admission. To start the program, they are going to need, it's pretty much on your green sheet again, the Medicaid nurse aide or equivalent within 1 year, starting courses. Computer literacy is defined by BCTC. I think we all know what that is. The math course, Bio 137 with the lab, and then the Psych 110, general psych. So when we do our audits before the students actually start in August, these are what we're looking for. In addition, they will require CPR and immunizations, and that's all on the website if they're looking for specifics on that. They do attend a pre-nursing conference, which is number 14 on here. I put practical nursing dates on here just as a reference for you, and then the associate degree nursing ones. Probably the biggest thing with the associate degree nursing, I don't know if the PN program does this, but we close the doors at 1 and we do not let any late admissions in. The biggest issue becomes the January class because that auditorium is full, and then we have overflow into another room because of the number of students that wait and do that last pre-admission conference. So I tell my students to get here at 12:30. I tell them, don't wait. If they're late, they're just out of luck. And we've gotten support. We're teaching professionalism, and that's part of our drive with having that deadline at 1 o'clock and no late admissions. I did put the admission deadlines on here. For PN, it's March 1st, and then for the ADN, it's February 15th. The only other difference, the practical nursing program, we are only admitting once a year now at both Danville and Leestown, no longer having spring admissions. So that may affect some of your students.
Could I just,
Yeah.
is it important that you go to the conference on the campus where you're gonna apply for the program? Like, if you're gonna apply for Lawrenceburg, could you go to a conference here, or do you have to go to Lawrenceburg?
They're the same.
Oh, they're
They're the
the
same,
same.
yeah. So the information will be the same, so no, you do not. We just do that for the students that may live in Lawrenceburg that are interested in nursing. Yeah. We have more on Cooper than we have on Lawrenceburg, but we do offer them the conference there. Advanced standing students, I just want to mention them. These are students that have taken nursing courses somewhere else, have taken nursing courses here, so that means they were unsuccessful. For these students, I refer them to Lisa Romley, who is the program coordinator for the ADN program, and she's here on Cooper campus. The other students are those that have taken, come from a PN program. So we have a lot of advanced standing students that are LPNs or your practical nurses that continue on in the RN program. What I'd like to mention about that, number 17, that if you're advising someone in the PN program, and I did give you a handout about the practical nursing, it's like 4 pages long, but the Gen Ed courses, they have some options. For example, they can take AHS 100 or Psych 110 and Psych 223. So if they do the Psych 110 and 223, they will have met the requirements for the ADN program. Same thing for the A&P, Bio 137 and 139. They have that option, or Bio 135. So if they have any desires to go on in the RN program, I would just have them take those appropriate courses then, save them a few hours of work. So I just want to point that out.
I have 2 questions.
Yes, you can take both courses, but if they're planning on going to RN, it's not gonna really count without 139.
Well, the reason I'm asking is more for the AS degree and Danville and the limited science stuff we have. And I
Sure,
ran
if you
into
want, you
that.
can, but it's
I see.
kind of a similar course, and I don't see the point for a student why you would wanna take two courses. 135 is obviously less intense than 137.
Can you take 135 and then 139?
No,
So
137
if you
is a
took
prerequisite.
135, and you want to get into the RN program, you have to go back and take 137 and 139.
Yes.
But you're not gonna get credit.
But you will get credit for the AS degree for all those. There's
Yes.
separate non-equivalent courses, so.
My other question, and I get this a lot, or actually I hear it a lot, is there an advantage, a disadvantage, or no difference between a student who finishes the PN program wanting to go on to the RN program, or a student going straight into the RN? Because I've had students who said, well, I heard that, you get you get an advantage if you go to the PN first. I've had other students who said, no, I've heard the exact opposite. I've heard that it's a disadvantage because there are a limited number of slots. So I'm wondering, when a student asks me that, what's the answer?
Really, you can go either way, but if you do all the LPN or PN work, you've done a lot of additional work. What they're getting credit for is that first semester nursing course, which is the fundamentals course, basically. And part of the clinical for the follow-on course, they do not have to be part of it, they have the classroom, the didactics portion of that, which is medical surgical nursing.
So if you go through the PN program and successfully graduate, you don't start in the fall in nursing, you start in the spring.
You start in the
in
spring,
RN program.
right. So their admission deadline, actually there's a number 16 here lists different times because they can start spring, summer, or fall.
Okay, so then,
Well, I shouldn't say fall because that's for those other students that fulfill A and B on that list that might fall into there.
so, this is a good question, Jennifer Scott. So strategically, more people admitted in the fall or in the spring? Because if you get the PN, you wouldn't have to get it until the spring.
I say spring because they're gonna be advanced standing, so they're not starting at the beginning of the program. So it depends on how many students that are in the program are successful or unsuccessful, how many clinical slots that opens up. So it really just depends.
You may have 0, you may have 15
Right.
spots for spring.
So you can't.
So you're really rolling the dice by doing the PN program first and then trying to use that as an advanced standing.
They still have to be admitted, they still have to turn in the application,
So there could be an advantage to it some semesters and a disadvantage to it others, kind of? I mean, is that
it really just, it is a
how I'm
numbers game,
understanding?
but,
Right.
I mean, I just see it as additional work that they've done where, and I see it as putting them at a disadvantage because they're coming into a class of students, group of students that have already been pre-established, and then they have to get into this class and, finish out the program with them. And it just takes an adjustment phase. They've done all this additional work, different focus. Sometimes you have to change your way of thinking from the PN role to the RN role. So I don't see an advantage to doing the PN first. And if they're worrying about admission, Lawrenceburg seems to have less number of applicants than the Cooper Drive program here or Lexington. So that's probably the biggest difference. If they have any desire, of course, Lawrenceburg is the evening weekend program, different focus, same curriculum, different faculty.
Well, and I'm Danville, so most of my students are going to Lawrenceburg. That's what they're shooting for, so.
So Lawrenceburg is an evening weekend program for all the clinicals?
Clinicals are Friday, Saturday, yes.
And so the other classes are evening classes?
Classes are evening, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday evening, clinical are Friday or Saturday. Yeah. So they start usually about 4 in the afternoon.
I have one more question.
Yeah,
Sorry.
certainly.
As far as the OPN is concerned, I've heard that a lot of hospitals are no longer hiring those. Is that kind of the trend?
That is trend. There's still positions for LPNs in the community settings, like clinics, of course, long-term care. A lot of LPNs will have management positions in the nursing home and long-term care facilities. So there's still a place for them. Hospital settings, not so much. They're really, hospitals that have LPNs employed are requiring them to become RNs. So that's happening too. That's a good question. What else here? Just your outstanding deadlines are on there. We have one coming up really soon, November 8th, and that's for students that are PNs that would be starting in the spring. Because that's when we'll be doing our second semester courses for. What other questions? You've had some good ones.
Are there any scholarships specifically for nursing, like not the general college scholarships, for a student who has done all gen ed, has got a terrific GPA? Where would they look for those?
We have scholarships, but they are for students in the program. I think we have 3.
Oh, okay, so it's not.
So, and there's a lot of applicants for it, and that's a tough one, because there's not a lot of money spread out.
So maybe they should just go for the college, the general BCTC scholarships then.
Other questions?